Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Conqueror review, the tier 9 British heavy tank. First of all, big thanks to Mother Han who gifted me 10k gold to review the Conqueror. Yeah, I did in the message, so it made it easy for me to decide what to do with the gold, so here's a Conqueror. Thanks a lot, buddy. I hope this review helps you with your Conqueror grind, and I hope I can give you some decent tips on how to play it, and yeah, let's get into it. Second thing, this is not Wall of Tanks. This is not the garage. This is a software called Tank Inspector. It's pretty cool. You can basically look around tanks and inspect them and look at the armor values and angling and all that jazz. So I'm just gonna be short in this. I don't like to talk a lot about absolutely nothing. So is the Conqueror armor any good? Well, the turret is other shit. You can turn the turrets around, so it's hilarious. The turret armor is kinda shit. As you see, these are like the thickest armor on the Conqueror is that one part where it's 203 and then it's 152, which is not a lot for a tier 9 heavy. And basically, if you have a tier 8 heavy tank, you can pen this turret no matter the angle, like unless you get absolutely really bad angles there on the sides. Everything else is around 200 penetration. Maybe a T32 might struggle to pen this, but every other tier 8 heavy should be fine, as well as some of the tier 8 mediums. The gun mantlet is really good, 350. Not a lot of people will find this. It's 350 all around, so don't aim at the gun mantlet. Oh, the base build on top is kind of trollish. It's not very thick, so if you hit it right, but it's not very big either. If you're face hugging, then, well, if you're face hugging, I never recommend to shoot this. Just shoot next to the. If you can't see this, then and only then you should shoot this. So yeah, just shoot the cheeks of the turret and it will pen. This is a ricochet zone, which makes the wing spot quite trollish, and this spot here is really thin as well. But as I said, the cheeks are as thin as this, so wouldn't even recommend to shoot the observation part. And for the lower plate, it's pretty thick. It's 76 millimeters. It's angled a bit, but it won't give you any problems to pen this. And ammo rack is located here as well, so good chances to ammo rack the Conqueror shooting in the lower plate. Upper plate is alright. It's 130, sloped pretty well, and it will give you around 230 actual armor if you don't angle. If you angle a bit more, or well, it's around 230, so you can expect to bounce some tier 8 guns. Side armor is trash, rear armor is trash, turret armor on the sides and the rear is trash. So yeah, that's the armor layout on the Conqueror, so let's get into the replay. And here we are on Sacred Valley once. Wait, this is not Sacred Valley, what the fuck? This is something river, Pearl River, right. Playing with Pointy-Haired Jedi and Turtus Flexus in his Turtus, obviously. And not top tier, but a heavy tank. I feel that my duty is to fight over the north and to fight in the heavy tank valley, which is not the best spot for the Conqueror, but the Conqueror can do good there because pick-and-pooing is a decent strategy for playing the Conqueror. Going out down at people that are aiming at you is not very smart, but then again, you don't get a lot of perfect scenarios, and this tank really doesn't have that perfect scenario. The tank is balanced around its gun. As you see, the mobility is decent. It can go 40 on flat, which is pretty damn good for a heavy tank. Not quite 40, but pretty close to it. So yeah, the Conqueror is all about this gun though. This is 120 mil. I'm not sure what the full name it is, but it's 258 penetration, 400 alpha, around 9-second reload, which makes the deep aim pretty good. And here are the E100s, which is not the best thing to meet in a Conqueror when you're playing the game of Peekaboo. It could be alright, but there's one issue. Those are not. One of them is a Heat 100, the other one is E100. As you saw, the AP shell, 258 penetration, was able to punch straight through the E100's turret, which can happen, but as you see, it won't happen a lot in this game. And that guy's just angling his turret, and that's the Heat 100. Heat 100 actually was trying to angle, but spamming heat, of course, because why not? Any of you can see. Just little heat hole right in the turret, and nothing I can do about it. And then there is an E100, and the E100 bounced off my turret. That was quite lucky, because you wouldn't expect this gun to bounce an E100, but it did, so here we go. When you're top tier in a Conqueror, you have to be go all in, face roll the enemies, just out DPM them. This tank works brilliantly in platoons, high DPM, good hit points, decent mobility. You just, 3 of these things just rape. When they're top tier, they just roll over everything. These tanks are extremely hard to deal with, because their obvious weak spot is the thin armor, but if you're just trading health, and if you have more health and better DPM, then you're always gonna win. Besides, the Conqueror can bounce, as you just saw, an E100. If the E100s are not in such a great spot, then you will pen. Like, when you attack people that you can actually pen, this tank is amazing. It's unbeatable, it's so good. And Heat 100 is moving up, and there's a T32 there now as well. Bouncing more shots with the turret. As you see, the turret can outstand some baiting, but you should not count on it like I am on this game. But yeah, I don't really have a choice. It's a tier 10 game. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for like one shot when an E100 decides to cross the line of fire. I'm gonna try to keep them back because we don't have a lot of tanks here, and see what happens. So, while we're sitting here and doing nothing, the crew skills for this tank is obviously 6th Sense repairs. I actually don't have 6th Sense because this is quite a fresh crew, but 6th Sense is really needed for any tank, even a heavy. And 6th Sense repairs, smooth ride snapshot is nice, safe storage is really necessary, safe storage is a must, and yeah, that's more or less what you want from your crew skills. Equipment wise, coded optics, vertical stabilizer, and for the third equipment, of course, you go primer. So, in my opinion, the Conqueror is one of the best tier 9 heavy tanks. It's along there with the E75. It's completely different than the E75. It's better one-on-one fighting when people are not in OP positions like the C100 is now. When people are out in the open, you're gonna slaughter them. This is a really good ambush tank. You can ambush, track, and kill people really easily with this, and it fits aggressive playstyle quite well. Not like the E75 doesn't fit an aggressive playstyle, but it's a bit different though. In the E75 you really need to hide your lower plate. This tank doesn't care that much because your armor is trash anyway, so you won't be too sad when the enemies pen you. From the other hand, the E100, the E75 really benefits from a strong position that it can hold. This tank is faster, so you can charge at your enemies faster, take more aggressive spots, and deal more damage. If you are a fan of British heavies and you want to get a really good one, I would recommend getting the Conqueror and then stop the grind, because the tier 10 is very disappointing after a tier 9 like this, because this is basically the tier 10. Tier 10 gets a slightly less reload, better turret armor, but the turret is mounted on the back, so it's more shit. You can peek and do this quite a lot in the Conqueror and not get too much punished too much, as you saw. Peeking, this gun aims really quickly, so peeking, shooting, and falling back takes no more than maybe 1-2 seconds at the most. So yeah, this tank is really nice at peekaboo, and that's how you should play it more or less. And as you see, one shot in the gun mantle didn't pen. T-34 managed to pen my turret in sort of a weak spot, but then again the entire turret is a weak spot, so not a big deal. You shouldn't get too worried about when people are penning your Conqueror because it has no armor. When you bounce you should be happy, when you dodge you should be happy, but when you get penned it should have happened anyway, so yeah. Playing a Conqueror, you really have to get in the mindset of a heavy tank with no armor, with a really good gun. It's really nice. This tank is really nice at dealing with lower tier tanks because the armor then is actually really useful, and it's not that easy to pen a Conqueror if you're like a tier 7. Tier 8 heavy shouldn't have too much problems, but this tank just out DPMs and slaughters tier 8 heavies in a couple of seconds. So yeah, Conqueror is a beast. I highly recommend it. Probably the best British tier, any tier heavy. One of the best British tanks in the game. And one thing I can't wait for in the new patch is the national battles. British tier 9 will be one of the strongest teams in the game with Turris, this thing, and the Centurion 7-1. But let's see how it works out, and let's see if they can be a match for Russian T-54s and STIs. But here, of course, first shot goes into the Object 704's gun mantlet, because you always have to shoot that gun mantlet, no matter what you want to do. You just have to shoot the gun mantlet. But at least here I get quite lucky. That's a solo shot, but this gun has really nice accuracy as well, so you should be expecting to hit most of your shots. Then again, the gun can troll you sometimes, and that's not very nice when that happens. Good mobility and decent view range of 400 makes the coated optics worthwhile as well, and this is why you never shoot on the move while you drive an Object 704. I managed to bounce off my upper plate. We can see the bounce mark there. It's a really silly thing to do, to shoot on the move with the 704, and he did it, and he died. No surprises there. And the game is looking much better now. The E5, who's sniping from there, for some reason actually managed to snap off the IS-8. So I only have to deal with the scout here, and ammo loadout, this thing gets APCR as preview ammo, so you don't have to, if you want to shoot higher pen rounds, you actually can. I don't have any loaded. I have, what, 5 HE, 3 HE, I can't see. But HE is HESH with a bit better penetration. It's like HE with a bit more penetration, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. You can still shoot ARTI and maybe some light tanks with it, but I had only recommended to shoot the new German TDs. So I managed to do just a bit over 5k damage, 3 kills, and managed to clear out the base as well. So there we go, 2119 experience, no doubles, no bonuses, 5300 damage exactly, 917 spotting, which is alright. I thought I had better games, but experience-wise this was much better than any other of my games. I guess that's for the spotting and the damage to the tier 10s, which makes sense, I guess, if you think about it. So yeah, that's the Conqueror. It's really strong, really powerful tier 9 heavy. I highly recommend it. If you can't find strength in you to grind the Churchills, then trust me, the Conqueror is totally worth it. The Caravan is getting better, the Conqueror is really good. The stock grind on Conqueror is quite painful with that B barrel, the 20 pounder or whatever pounder. It's pretty painful. You want to get the gun as quickly as you can, but when you get the gun, this tank is a slaughterhouse. And yeah, that's it for the Conqueror. What do you guys think about the new way of doing the garage at the start? Is it good or not? As always, leave your feedback in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.